Two ways about it. That very slick promotional video released recently by, of course, the brilliant Prince and Princess of Wales, giving us a behind-the-scenes glimpse of their big coronation day, well, was simply magnificent. But as ever, is all what it seems. Let me reveal. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company today. You know, I did think that video was absolutely spectacular. And as I told you before, lots of people were basically saying comparisons to Harry and Meghan. It's ridiculous, isn't it, when you think about it, because it's the digital world that we live in. It wasn't a docu-series. There were no revelations, no family bashing, none of that ridiculous stuff. Just simply giving us a peek into their world. And again, you know, when you think about it, I love the way they talk about an apartment, and you think, an apartment with all those rooms. Fascinating, though, to see. I love the fact that Prince Louis was rather hesitant. And according to a very good source, he was the most nervous. You know, he didn't really necessarily want to be filmed like that. I mean, he's obviously caught in natural commotion, isn't he, when he's on the balcony or just out and about with his mum. But of course, you know, they know it's a promotional video. But how much of that was off the cuff and how much of it really was, shall we say, gone through, rehearsed? Well, the videographer is one of great work, absolutely brilliant at putting things like this together. Seemingly, you know, it took a lot of effort. It had Hollywood-style glitz and glamour, I'm sure you'll all agree. But it may surprise you to know this. A lot of people have spoken out about exactly why didn't it feature more of Charles and Camilla. Well, there's two reasons really for that. This was about the Prince and Princess of Wales and their version, their, period of time on the coronation. But more importantly, it's about moving the monarchy forward. Whatever people talk about, it's about modernization. Now, this will surprise you because this initial idea was discussed at great length, according to a very good source, with our late and wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. Now, she understood the value, believe it or not, of the digital media. We saw, did we not, with her daughter, Princess Anne, zooming it and all that sort of stuff. She realised that this was the way forward. Now, according to a very good source, this was something that Prince William had discussed at length. And now, you know, it may seem slightly macabre to you and I to discuss something about when someone's not there. But of course, Queen Elizabeth dedicated her life to the monarchy. She knew about succession. She knew what was required. Now, I'm not saying it was right down to the minute detail. Obviously, lots of ideas came from the videographer. Lots of ideas came from William and Catherine themselves, with, of course, not too much intrusion into their children's lives. According to that source, though, it was Charlotte who was the one that really embraced the idea. Bit of an eye for the camera, you know. And the bottom line is, she knew that obviously people were going to see this. It's fascinating, isn't it, to think that, you know, when you look at a situation like that, you go, well, is it contrived? I wouldn't say it's contrived at all. I would say they were caught in the moment. There were no retakes, no second chances. He literally had a time to set up and roll the camera. Obviously, the videographer took masses and masses of footage that day to create such a spectacular short video. But what is interesting, according to that source, is that the Queen, along with the King and our Queen Camilla, knew all about it and were more than happy to make sure that in the public's mind, the monarchy rolls on into the future. And the bottom line is that video was all about that. Now, some people might say, was Charles angry or, you know, was he slightly put out? Look, he was being crowned king that day. He'd waited a long time for that moment. Sadly for him, he had to lose his mother in the process. But the bottom line is, that is monarchy, isn't it? You know, you have to lose someone in order to attain the next role. And for William, Catherine, Louis, Charlotte, and Prince George, they seemingly now know all too well their destiny. But more importantly, happy to let the public know exactly that the monarchy truly is in safe hands. And if you're in any doubt, this film simply proves it. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.